Okay, now we're going to talk about practice paper 5, part B2, task 10. Task 10 is a letter of complaint, so let's take a look at the requirement of this letter of complaint. For this letter of complaint, you are writing to Consumer Association about our supposed all-inclusive package to Vanuatu from Summertime Tours. Okay, so this is what you're going to complain about. Okay, so this is the tour from Summertime Tours. Okay, the all-inclusive package, and the different parts is very clear. First, you have to start with the purpose of the letter. So basically, this is the intro. I'm writing to complain about. Is always like that. Okay, then you talk about the problems we encountered. Remember problems. So one by one, this is basically the body paragraphs. Okay, talk about the problems you encountered, and then the conclusion, letting the association know we'd like them to assist us. Okay, so this is the conclusion. All right, leave the date and our address out for the time being. This is the part that I want to talk about. This leave the date and time out. Sorry, leave the date and our address out. So basically, if you remember on top, you should start with this is your address, and then there should be the date, and then afterwards this is the recipient's information. All right, and then you start with dear Mr. something. Okay, and then you start writing like this, right? But now it is asking you to leave your address and the date out. So basically you don't have this part, but still there should be the recipient's info. Okay, and the recipient's info is actually on the last page right here. Okay, so basically this is the address that you have to put down, but don't forget that before address you have to write the organization name. So you have to put down Consumer Association right here. A lot of you forgot to do it. Okay, so remember, this is very important that you put down who or what organization is expected to receive this letter of complaint. Okay, all right, so this is about format. Then let's take a look at the points. All right, so we are now talking about task 10 right here. This time you don't really need any information from the note-taking page, so this page is not relevant to task 10. Okay, so we can actually start from here. Okay, so basically this part you can see a lot of useful information right here. Basically the whole page is needed. Okay, so I pay attention to everything I charge for, kept all the receipts, okay, payment, and the scuba diving. So basically about scuba diving, glass bottom boat trip, okay, and then extra expenses didn't tell us about. All right, so you can see this is right here 10.3, okay, because it's about glass bottom boat excursion, scuba diving, and then travel agent did not tell us about this. Okay, 10.3, 10.4, and then you also have to talk about the extra expense right here. So the extra expense, you just have to talk about total amount, because right here it says specify how much you will need to pay in your letter. Okay, so Hong Kong dollar, $1 is roughly 13 VT, so you have to just divide it by 13, and then that's the number you have to put it down. Okay, so you expect to write 78,000 VT, or around $6,000 Hong Kong dollars, okay, on top of the cost of the package. So you have to make sure it's not the total fee that you paid, it's the extra expense that you have to pay. Okay, so if you don't have the word like extra expense, oops, I should not use this. You do not have words, the wording like extra expense, then you can't get a mark. Or on top of the cost of the package, because it shows that it's extra expense. Okay, if you just put down in total we paid like, then I can't really give you mark for this point, because it doesn't show that it's extra. It may be like a part of the fee included in the tour price as well. Okay, so remember this, 10.5 is also included. And then Next one right here, tried contacting their customer service, but they were rude and helpful. So rude and helpful right here, and 10.10 as well. Okay, and then request that. So you see, request that this is what you demand. To state your demand basically is conclusion. Even the conclusion right here just asks you to write how we'd like them to assist us. So the specific requests are all here. You have to put down right here instead. A lot of you just put down we would like you to assist us. This is not clear. No, this is very vague because you didn't really state what you demand the association to help. Right, so you have to put down the request very clearly. The 2 points: consumer association mediates and help us reach a settlement, this one, and then also request a refund of all our extra expenses. Those are the 2 requests. So 10.11, 12 are already here. Okay, but don't make up your own request. Some of you say things like I will resort to legal action if you don't reply to me within 2 weeks, something like that. It's not stated. It's not like you're writing. You're writing, then you can do whatever you like. Okay, as long as it makes sense. But for listening, you always have to base on the data file. And if the data file didn't state anything alike, then you can't just make up something and put it at the end of your letter of complaint and assume that this is logical. Okay, because it's not based on the data file. All right, so remember that. Okay, then moving on, we got we skipped the tour, and then this is for task 9 as well. Okay, task 10 is right there. Okay, this time the information is kind of condensed, so you don't have, it's not scattered around. That's why you can find information quite easily. It's entries from Peter's travel journal. So the other things that you have to pay attention to are the hotel isn't a 5-star seaside hotel. Okay, it's a small inn with a lot of pickpockets around. So this is 10.6. Then the next thing is about the agency told us we would be having a buffet dinner, but then suddenly cancel without any explanation. So basically asked for an explanation and then said we should contact. But you have to make it clear that basically they did not respond to you. Okay, so it's not saying that the guy just said we should contact the agency's customer service when we're back to Hong Kong. No, ask for an explanation. So basically it means there is no explanation. So this is not what makes you furious. You have to remember, you are writing a letter of complaint. Why does it make you furious? Why does it make you feel dissatisfied? Not because they said you should contact the agency's customer service department, because they have no explanation for the cancellation of the buffet dinner. Okay, that's why if you did not put down, the guide failed to provide an explanation. Instead, you just write, the guy asked us to contact the customer service department. It feels like they are still doing something, right? But basically, they ask you to do it. It means that they have no explanation for you at all. Okay, so this part is what makes you lose marks somehow. Okay, so 10.7 right here. And then something else right here. The guy disappeared for long periods numerous times. So 10.8. And also took us to certain souvenir shops and wouldn't let us go unless we bought something. So this is called urged shopping. So this is 10.9. Okay, so 10.1 already said it is the address at the end, but remember consumer association, so it's 10.1. And then for the purpose is actually on the instruction page, you have writing to complain about this all-inclusive package from Vanuatu from summertime tours. So basically all the points are there. Okay, all right, so for this part, what are the key things to pay attention to? First thing is a letter of complaint intended for the consumer association about a package that was supposed to be all-inclusive. So make sure a letter of complaint, you have the right tone, formal register. Writing a letter of complaint is always formal, firm but polite. Don't make it too emotional. Okay, so this is totally unacceptable. You guys are really bad, something like that. Okay, don't do it in an emotional way. Okay, and then subject line may be included. So maybe when you write, you can write the subject line as well. But this time, you just know that you're writing to the consumer association. That's why you should not make up a person that works there. Okay, so and as you don't know who it is, so just start with dear sir or madam, and end with yours faithfully. Okay, so or it's okay to write to whom it may concern, to whom it may concern. Okay, or yours faithfully, best regards. Okay, and then your name. All right. So these are the things that you have to remember for the progressive part. And so right now, let's take a look at the sample. Okay, so after putting down the name of the organization and the address right here, then you start with dear sir, madam. Then the purpose. So the purpose is I'm writing to complain about. Okay, and then just copy the whole part. Supposed all-inclusive package, if anyone to. Okay, and then is about the complaint, the body paragraph. So how do you state each complaint? Make sure you divide it into different paragraphs. This is one thing to remember. One complaint, one paragraph. Okay, one complaint, one paragraph. So this part, firstly, pay for activities such as this, and this is supposedly included in the package. Okay, and then did not tell us about the extra charge, ended up paying on top of the cost of the package. Okay, so you see this is all about the extra expense that you had to pay. Okay, so this is firstly we had to pay, we ended up paying this. Okay, and then the second part, moreover. Okay, so this is about accommodation now. Our accommodation was not, okay, was not, but, okay, was not this 5-star seaside hotel we booked, but a small inn located in district where security was a problem. So where a pickpockets around is okay. Okay, I still gave you mark because it's the original wording. We're given last minute notice and the guy failed to provide an explanation. This is what makes you dissatisfied, right? So this is the part that I told you about. If you just said that the guy basically asks you to contact another department, he's still doing his job, but concerning explanation, basically there's no explanation. Okay, so you have to make it clear that failed to provide an explanation. Okay, and then additionally a tour guide disappears. So this is not just about accommodation and also about the tour guide as well. Okay, so additionally our tour guide disappeared for long periods, numerous times, coerced tourists into shopping. Okay, so these are the complaints that you made. And then the next thing is about the customer service representatives. So during our trip, we tried contacting you for assistance, summertime tours for assistance, but the customer service representatives were rude and unhelpful. Okay, so this is about the customer service representatives. Okay, and then finally it comes to your demands. So right here at this part, you have to state your demands very clearly. Your demands are: we find all these unacceptable. Would like to ask the association to mediate and help us reach a settlement. Okay, and we find all of this unacceptable and would like to ask. Remember, you are not writing to summertime tours. You are writing to consumer association. That's why you have to tell them what you want them to do to help you. Okay, so find all of this unacceptable, so you provide a reason. Basically, it's very clear: not acceptable to me. Would like to ask you to mediate and help us reach a settlement. We would also like to, so the second request, have all our extra expenses refunded. Okay, and so after stating your demands, then you just end politely. Thank you, look forward to hearing from you. Thank you is good because you are not again complaining to summertime tours. You are writing to consumer association. That's why you have to thank them for helping you. Okay, and because you don't know the name, remember yours faithfully and then signature and your print name. Okay, so hopefully it helps you to understand better how to finish task 10.